years old to 40 years old. Those are the faces and names that Dallas is relying on to get back to the playoffs after an uncharacteristic 2-year hiatus. But will that be enough? Hall of Famer Kevin McHale and Greg Anthony join me with answers and predictions next on our Dallas Mavericks Team Preview Show.
It's another level NBA. I mean, for me, it's everything new again. So, I mean, you have all these superstars here, and it's tough to play, so you need to adjust to it.
Hey, after missing the playoffs and back-to-back season, there's finally some buzz around this Dallas Mavericks team, mainly in part because of the guy you saw right there, LUKA, one of the most hyped European rookies that we've seen in years. And after talking to the team and coach, it seems like that hype will be real. Are you guys excited to watch this kid play?
I really am. I mean, I had the opportunity to see a little bit of film on him over the summer, and what I was most impressed with was his ability to play with good players. He's not a guy that has to be ball dominant. He's a terrific ball mover, really good passer, and he just seemed to have that clutch gene from the times that I got to see him, Kevin. And I think he's going to be a nice addition to this up-and-coming Mavericks team.
Yeah, he knows how to play basketball. Anytime you know how to play, the game is much easier for you. He moves the ball when it needs to be moved. He drives when there seems to drive. He pulls up and knocks down jumpers when he's open. So he's just a good basketball player. I'm not worried about him at all. I'm kind of interested in how this team blends together because you get some young guys, Smith and he in that backcourt. They're going to be really young. Both of them can make plays, but Doncic probably is a better decision maker overall. So it's going to be interesting just to watch these kids blend and grow because at the end of the day, it's how good you are as a collective group, not how good you are individually, and that's what they've got to figure out.
One of the things that everybody seemed surprised with when they actually saw him in person instead of just on film was his size. Yeah. And, they said he has quickness, but it's that deceptive quickness. It's not necessarily his foot speed, but just the way he moves on the court and his court vision everybody was impressed with. When it comes to the European game, it seems like that deceptiveness with your quickness is something that we see more over there. From your experience, what's the biggest adjustment from European ball to coming over and jumping into the NBA?
Oh, the level of athleticism he's going to see in the NBA is going to be very different than the level of athleticism in the European League. Even though he played in the highest level of the European League, which is very impressive league. The highest level of European basketball is much better than any college basketball here, by far. So he's already been playing against grown men, which is a big thing. He's not afraid to go out there and see guys who are 30 years old. He's been playing against them since he's been 16, 17 years old. It's the level of athleticism he's going to see. And then in the NBA, all the windows are much smaller. You get used to playing through a window like this and throwing passes through windows like this. In the NBA, that same windows like this, right. Everybody's a little longer, a little bit bigger. So the athleticism and just the court just gets smaller.
And then also, from Dallas's perspective, determining what's going to be his natural position to guard. Because talking about those athletes, he's got to guard that position. And so whether it's the 2 or the 3, a lot of times those are the best athletes in the league. And I do think the acquisition, though, of getting DeAndre Jordan helps in that regard as well, because he's going to anchor that defense. He's a guy that can get out in space and help. But Doncic is the real deal. I think that trio of him and Barnes and Smith, how they come together, to Kevin's point, ultimately determines how good this Mavericks team can become.
And one point on the defensive end, everybody switches now.
Right.
And so you're going to have to guard 1, 2s, and 3s, and probably 4s if you're Doncic. So that's going to be another big adjustment, just the speed of the guard and everything. But he's going to have to learn how to guard multiple positions. And I actually kind of like all the switching in the NBA right now. It makes teams make decisions. Like if you have a mismatch, you got a big on a small, who's going to be able to enter the ball? How much clock are you using to get to that mismatch and stuff? So I think this kid is really set up to be a tremendous player. And I wouldn't be surprised if he walks away with Rookie of the Year just because this kid's that good.
Well, one of the guys that showed his athleticism last year in his rookie season was Dennis Smith Jr., and they'll be sharing the backcourt together. I sat down with Dennis to ask him what he's most excited about when it comes to his new teammate.
He's a really high IQ player. He understands the game well. And so far, we've played in pickup together a couple of times, a fair share. And we've been doing pretty well together. So I think we can complement each other pretty well this season.
Yeah, how will he help you improve your game, do you think?
Get me more shots off the catch. I shot a higher percentage off the catch last year, so I believe I'll get more looks like that this season.
One of the things that Dennis struggled with last year, he had great quickness, he got to the basket, but his shooting percentages were down. And so he worked a lot on that in the offseason. How do you see the shots opening up for him sharing the floor with LUKA?
Well, I think they will. Most rookies struggle in the perimeter to shoot the basketball. Even the guys who are shooters tend to not shoot as well that first year because the game is faster, court's bigger, three-point shots deeper. And you're also playing against better talent. So I do expect him to continue to improve, but I do think what he talked about, to me, Dennis Smith Jr. is not that natural, instinctive point guard. He's a typical NBA league guard. He's going to be a score-first guy, which I think will help him playing with Doncic, who's a pass-first guy. And so I do think you're going to see his field goal percentage rise this year, in part because he's playing with a better overall IQ out on the perimeter. And I do think because of that, how cerebral Doncic is, that this young man will benefit from playing with him.
Smith will become a better shooter. You know why he wasn't a good shooter? He didn't need to be. He beat everybody off the dribble.
He really did.
He's just that. I very seldom do see great athletes come in the NBA with really good shots. But once you start playing against everybody, you realize that everybody's athletic. Everybody can stay in front of you. Everybody moves their feet. Your jumper improves. And so this summer, I'm sure his jumper improved a lot. What I'd like to see out of Smith a little bit more is a little more playmaking, off the bounce, finding guys. You know, the corners are usually filled. You have good shooters there. There's certain spots in the NBA floor now that are always filled. You got to be able to drive hard to hit the back, the opposite corner. If you're going right, hit the left corner. Going left, hit the right corner, and things like that, where he can get better. That drop-off pass late to DeAndre Jordan, those type of things. That's where I think Smith, his shot will get better, but I want to see him improve his just kind of playmaking.
Hey, if you're running point or you're coming off a ball screen, one thing you get excited about is throwing a lob. And now they have DeAndre Jordan in the mix, and I know both LUKA and Dennis Smith are really excited to get to throw him the ball. Do you like this addition? And what do you think is the biggest benefit he'll bring to this Dallas team?
Defense. He's going to be able to block shots and rebound. You can't run, and I think they're going to be able to run. Last year, they were not a great offensive team. I think they were like 28th in the league in scoring or whatever.
Right.
But he's going to be able to get them easier baskets by playing defense, blocking shots, rebounding, then outletting the pass. You get those guys, Harrison Barnes, Smith, Doncic, you get those guys running the wings and get out ahead and get odd man situations. They're going to score easier because you have a guy in there to block shots and rebound well for you.
And the other thing he's going to do for them offensively, he's going to create spacing. And you don't think of a big who's not a force to score, but because you have to honor him at the rim, that's going to create better spacing on the perimeter. Then it comes down to making good reads and quick reads, because DeAndre Jordan, in that pick and roll, when he dives to the rim, he's going to force help from the weak side. And if your guards are good at reading and making quick decisions, you're going to get a lot of good looks and opportunities on the weak side of the basketball floor. So that's going to help this group as well. To your point, part of the reason they struggled at times is they didn't have a lot of creativity offensively last year. They were easy to guard, and they weren't a fast team. Even though Dennis Smith Jr. has electric athletic ability, as a group, they were a little bit more methodical. I think Rick Carlisle would like to see them play with a little more pace in what we see in today's modern game. I think DeAndre, in a weird way, you don't think of him as an offensive player, but he could help their offense because of that ability to get to the rim.
Yeah, anytime you can outlet the ball to one of 3 or 4 guys, I mean, they're going to
fastest way to move the ball.
No question. You're throwing that ball out to the hash mark, out to half court. You're going to get easy shots off that, even if it's a hard push. Then guys walking into those, the threes, the slot 3, top of the key threes that are open in a break when you're pushing the ball.
It was funny, I talked to DeAndre and said, you verbally committed, you backed out of that, now you're back, why now? And he said he thought the Clippers still had more to offer and he could accomplish things there in the past, where now he's ready to move on, and he's so excited about the youth of this Dallas team. But I also joked with him and said, you can play center here, but you're going to have to play till you're 40. Because you're coming in and you're playing the position that we just saw Dirk play the last couple of years, the center position, so that brings the possibility of him coming off of the bench this season. I think it's likely. What do you guys think?
I don't think there's any doubt that Dirk probably should come off the bench. In order for this team to take the next step, this can no longer be Dirk's franchise. And I think Dirk understands that.
I agree with you 100%. But how can he be 233 points behind Wilt? My guy, Wilt, that ain't right.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm just telling you, that's amazing. That just shows the longevity and how good Dirk has been for so many years.
It's his 21st season. He's 40 years old. And what I love about him is he doesn't want to bring the franchise down. He doesn't want a big farewell tour. I mean, we have to view this season as we watch him on the court as potentially his last, which you hate to say. I think he could play 3 more years. I think this could be his last year, but he's not going to be the guy that wants every team to give him a big celebration when he goes out. And he did tell me at media days, I want to do whatever it takes to win for this team. And he is one of the most unselfish players we've ever seen go through the NBA.
You know, Red Auerbach told me years ago, he said, great players have a really hard time going out graciously. Because what made you great is that you wouldn't give in. What made you great is that every single night you thought you could do it, whether you were hurt, whether you had one leg, one arm. You were like, there's a push in great players that you feel you can get anything accomplished.
Right.
He said that same push won't let you realize you're 40. It won't let you realize you're 35. And he'd always tell me, he goes, don't be like the rest of those guys, Mikhail. Go out graciously. You're not the player you were when you were 28. I think Dirk understands that. Dirk knows he's not the player he was at 30, at 40 now. And he's going out graciously. And I love to see that in guys just say, whatever it takes. I mean,
Right.
It's hard for great players to kind of say, I just can't do that anymore. But he seems to be handling it really well, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
Great guy, too, by the way. Dirk Nowitzki is a great guy.
One of the best.
Young players, take note. All right, coming up next, we're going to look at the rest of the Mavs depth chart. Who else will the team be counting on to just survive in this difficult West? More on the roster and last season's leading scorer, Harrison Barnes, after the break. This past June, Dirk hosted his 7th annual Hero Celebrity Charity Baseball game in Frisco, Texas to raise some money for his foundation.
I love his number. Money.
Yeah, it's like the
And he
tall
scores.
awkwardness didn't affect his basketball ability, but the softball video with that stance, we got to work on that stance. Bend your knees there, buddy.
Yeah, step into that swing a little more. Yeah, exactly.
When you're 40 and 7 feet tall, them knees don't bend quite as well either.
Oh, that's great. It really is a good cause, though. Helps improve the education, health, and well-being of children. But we also had this from him. He just keeps entertaining us all summer long. Just had off-season drug testing. Told the guy, did you see me move last year? If I was on something, I need to change that product.
That's a great line.
Yeah, I don't think Dirk's juicing up. I think he did it the old school way. All right, now we're gonna send it over to the starters with more on LUKA.
Skeets and Lee here from the starters with your next point about the Dallas Mavericks, and this one's got an award-based theme to it. True or false, Lee? Luka Doncic will win Rookie of the Year.
I'm saying false. I think Luka Doncic is going to be a very good player. I believe in the hype in him, but we just haven't seen him play at this level. We didn't see him at Summer League, which I was really hoping to. Now, I don't discount the fact that he was a superstar over in Europe, but this is a very good rookie class. I think DeAndre Ayton's very good. I think Marvin Bagley will be very good, and even someone like Kevin Knox, who could be a dark horse.
Colin Sexton.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players. And also, I think for a Euro who's been hyped up, I think the bar is a little higher. I think people are expecting an instant impact from Doncic, even though he's only a young player. So if I had seen him at Summer League, maybe my opinion would be different, but I haven't seen him, so I'm just saying no, he's not the favourite.
This is tough because I lean towards true because you look at the Mavs and you name some of those guys, Ayton, Bagley, Knox would be in the mix, Sexton. Their teams are probably going to be worse, in theory, than the Mavericks. So Luka might be helped by his team just being in the playoffs, being in the playoff race, if he can put up some points. He's got to score, because you usually got to put 18, 19, 20 points like we saw with Donovan Mitchell and then Simmons' impact last year. You got to put points on the board to win this award, but he'll be helped. Again, I think by the Mavs being better than a lot of these teams like the Suns and the Kings and the Knicks and probably the Cavs.
Yeah, but I wonder just how much of that is going to come down to him and maybe the improvement of someone like a Dennis Smith there as well, who you expect is going to have the ball in his hands a lot as well. Look, I believe that Doncic will be very good, but there's a lot of pressure also coming in here as well. Remember, the Mavs gave up a second first-round pick to get him, so people are going to have a lot of attention on him and expecting him to deliver from the start.
Well, let's hear from you guys. Jump on Twitter, hashtag the starters. Is Luka Doncic going to win Rookie of the Year? Let us know.
And we have one more segment before we let you go, and it's perhaps the most exciting. Prediction time. How many games will the Mavs win this season? We'll tell you next. Will they win more than 34.5 games?
Ooh.
I know.
That's a
last year
tough
they won 24, so
Yes.
Yeah,
we're looking at a 10-game improvement here.
I do think they're a much improved team, and I also think they now have a core nucleus for which they can be optimistic.
Yes.
You talk about Doncic, Smith, and Harrison Barnes I throw in there as well. But I don't know that they can get over 34. I think 34 is a good number. That's guess why they set those lines, because I think they're going to win about 34. That's a big improvement, though.
No, a 10-game improvement's huge. So I'm going to say over just because Rick Carlisle is my old teammate, and I'm pumping them up. And I do like their team. So I think they're going to win over that. I really do. I think they're going to find some rhythm at some point in the season, get on a roll. DeAndre Jordan's used to winning. Harrison Barnes comes in. I think they're going to get on a roll and get over that 34.5.
I think you can't say enough to having your point guard in year 2 with Dennis Smith Jr. and just his comfortability and how he's worked on his shot. So I'm going to go over as well. Lastly, where does LUKA finish in the Rookie of the Year voting?
I'm going to say top 3.
I'm saying he's finishing number 1.
Woo!
I think he'll be Rookie of the Year. I'm going on there. I just think that European experience, he's not going to be intimidated by playing against older guys.
Yeah.
Big thing for him.
I'll go second, only because DeAndre Ayton's going to get a lot of touches.
Yes.
It's a brand new day and a brand new season for the Dallas Mavericks as they open up preseason basketball this evening at the American Airlines Center against the Beijing Ducks. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chuck Cooperstein sitting in for Mark Followell. Derek Harper alongside. The Mavericks coming off a season that they certainly would like to forget, and they're well on their way, it appears, to doing that, Harp. And it started on draft night with the acquisition of LUKA Doncic from the Atlanta Hawks.
The Mavericks got their man. There's no question about that, Coop. Anytime you trade up to get a player and get a pretty good player, this guy's a very versatile basketball player, really handles the basketball well for his size. He can shoot the 3, he can create for others, and I don't know about you, but I'm anxious to see the hype on LUKA.
Well, Doncic has certainly done a lot of winning. We've only waited about 3.5 months to see him play. We've waited about 3.5 years to see DeAndre Jordan play as DeAndre Jordan makes his Mavericks debut tonight.
That's a long time coming, no question about that. But I think automatic, when I think about the Mavericks and Jordan, the Mavericks are going to be better defensively with this presence. The guy can police the paint, he can block shots, he can rebound with the best of them. Second in the league last year at 15 a game.
Well, and the Mavericks figure that they're going to be a much better defensive team this year as well. And we look forward to joining you for Mavericks and the Beijing Ducks this evening. We have more on the trip to China coming up next on Mavericks Basketball on Fox Sports Southwest. Introducing Mavericks starting lineup, which has a bit of a different look. Dennis Smith certainly not a different guy in that starting lineup, but as mentioned, LUKA Doncic brand new, and Dorian Finney-Smith in for the injured Harrison Barnes, who has an injured hamstring, will not play tonight, probably not play in China either. Wesley Matthews, Doncic, Jordan, the remaining starters for the Mavericks tonight. It's been a terrific camp for Wesley Matthews. Indeed, Wesley Matthews looks like he's in incredible shape. And let's bring Jeff Skinwade in to talk more about the summer and the fall that Wes has had.
All right, thank you, Coop. As we know, last year ended with injury. This offseason, Wesley Matthews lost 10 pounds. By all accounts, he's in amazing shape. He's going into a contract here, and if you listen to Coach Carlisle, he staked Harrison Barnes and Wesley Matthews as being their most important two-way players. And guys, Wesley looks like he's ready to rock and roll. And if DeAndre and LUKA fit into this offense the way we think that they will, that means a lot of wide open looks for Wesley to knock down, and he's certainly in the physical condition to do it.
Yeah, you know, Derek, I think a really important part of all of this is we've never really seen Wes Matthews in the role that we saw him in Portland and what made him so valuable to the Mavericks when they brought him in the first place.
Yeah, I worry about a lot of players on this Maverick team. Wesley just doesn't seem to be one of those guys that I concern myself with. He's always prepared. Maverick's best defensive player on the perimeter, and you know, those lockout years, I beg your pardon, those contract years tend to be good years for players in this league.
Mavericks want to pass the ball more, not dribble it as much. They tried the touch pass that was off the mark and an initial turnover for the team that turned it over the fewest number of times in the NBA last year, just 12.3 times a game. Let's see what happens on defense here. This has been the emphasis for the Mavericks in the first week of camp.
Well, you have to defend in this league to be successful on a consistent basis.
Well, there was a layup that was missed, and DeAndre Jordan doing what he does as well as anyone in the league, and that's clear the boards out. Wes Matthews on the move, and a blocking foul against Shu Wang.
I mean, don't you think with DeAndre on the floor, the Mavericks are automatically better defensively?
I don't think it's any question, Harp. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're a better rebounding basketball team because of him. And I expect this to be an exciting year for this Mavericks squad.
Catch and shoot with room for Matthews, hits the heel of the rim. And Justin Hamilton, one of the 2 former NBA players on this Beijing Ducks roster, coming down with the rebound. And he'll pick and pop for 3 and put the Ducks in front.
He's got a big contingent here.
Well,
Hamilton does, cheering for him.
Hamilton can play. He's one of those guys that has a lot of experience. Nice pass.
And a nice finish with the offhand by DeAndre Jordan.
Pretty good footwork there, Harp. Looks like he knew what he was doing.
Going smooth. Going to get a lot of open looks. Good defense there.
And the foul by Hamilton to prevent the fast break that would have been 2-on-1 with Dorian Finney-Smith and Dennis Smith Jr. in the first foul of the night against the Ducks.
It's just a preseason game, guys, but I'm excited for Dorian to have the opportunity to start. He missed so much time last year, and he's worked so hard. I look forward to seeing what he can do.
Dwayne Price wrote a story on Dorian talking about how he appreciates the game a little bit more. Nice find that time excellence through the contact finish for Wesley Matthews on the cut.
Well, how many times last year did we see Wesley Matthews make a backdoor cut and finish at the rim? We didn't see that very much, did we?
Didn't see it a whole lot. He's a perimeter guy. Obviously shoots a lot of threes and lives by that, but that's a heads-up cut that time.
And the free throw good for Matthews, an 82% foul shooter last year. And the Mavericks with the 5-2 lead early on.
It's like DeAndre was proud of that assist, too, guys.
It's a good passer. Sees the floor well for his size.
Fong Schwod way off the mark. And there's Doncic with his first touch. All the way to the rim. Coast to coast for LUKA Doncic.
And Doncic showing off that handle. This guy can really run the floor and find open people, but that time decided to go all the way. Here's Hamilton again, not able to convert.
And here comes Doncic. Such a versatile player on the crossover. And there's Dennis Smith for the right baseline over the top air ball. Had a wide open look at it, though. There are going to be a lot of good looks for the Mavericks this year as they want to play faster than they have in the past.
Yeah, but they want to move the basketball more than they bounce it, Coop. A lot of times you think you're moving quick. That's a steal by Hamilton that time. In the open court, he's a 6'8", 6'9" player that can get out on the perimeter and run the floor.
Handle it and just under control and finishing like that. Very impressive stuff.
Beautiful stuff that time by the youngster.
Almost 3 minutes gone. One of the 3 members of the Chinese national team, Fong Schwod. And he's short on that one. And Jordan chases the rebound down. Quick outlet, and the pull-up for Smith from 3 is no good. Got his own rebound back.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's looking for that opportunity.
Just to let everybody know that he's jumping better than he's ever jumped before, right?
I think he was parallel at one point. That was incredible.
9 straight points by the Mavericks after that Hamilton three-pointer. 3.5 minutes into the game. And Hamilton with the push in the lane gets the roll over Jordan.
Soft touch that time by Hamilton.
Played with the Nets, Miami in his time. Here's Matthews on the post-up. And the fadeaway, no good. And the foul, and let's have some fun. The first time, I think, of many times that we're going to have fun watching Dennis Smith Jr.
There's no question about it. When you miss a jump shot, you know better than anyone where it's going to come off. He was in the right place at the right time. And skin almost pushed me out of my seat, by the way.
How far back did he cock his elbow on that to throw that thing down?
Well, when you're up that high, you can throw it back.
Doncic throws it away. Thought there was going to be a cutter that wasn't there. And a turnover by the Mavericks. But you know what? We're probably going to see that a little bit more this year. There's that Jason Kidd element, Skin, isn't there, with him?
Absolutely. And I think the kind of turnovers we're going to see, Coop, is guys not ready for the ball or LUKA thinking they're going to cut when they don't. But that's what Harp was talking about. This is going to be a team that moves the ball, a lot of motion, a lot of cutting, and fun to watch in the half court.
And not dribble it so much. I think a lot of times guys get dribble happy. Forget that the ball moves quicker than dribbling.
Good defense by the Mavericks, and they forced the turnover as the shot clock began to move down on the Ducks. Mavericks playing their starters here at the beginning of the game and probably a little bit to the third quarter as well. Rick Carlisle wasn't sure how much time they'd actually get tonight. We'll see as that plays out. Here's Jordan off the right block. Face up. And the spin and the pump. Can't finish. But Finney Smith will finish. They'll wave it off and call a loose ball foul.
Yeah.
Dorian, there you see Jordan operating down low, and there's the call out.
Tell you what, I'm trying to remember how many times Jordan faced up with the Clippers.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Different role, I think, in LA than he's going to have here.
Screening, rolling, and finishing. Here is Aaron Jackson, former Houston Rocket in the game. And good ball movement by the Ducks, and Jordan grabs his third rebound.
Love it.
Nice outlet to Matthews. Oh, nice crossover, and the floater won't go. Hamilton with a rebound.
Russell been working on his game. You can tell that. A lot of confidence on the crossover.
Jackson against Finney Smith. Pick and roll game. And a good find. And a three-pointer that's good.
That's good vision that time for the Ducks.
Doncic with that three-pointer for the Ducks. Excellent ball movement here. Oh, Jordan going to face it up. It's preseason, and Doncic trying to make the save and tried to knock it off of Whoa and could not do it. Beijing ball when we return. And the Mavericks off to a 9-8 lead, 5.5 minutes into the game on Fox Sports Southwest.
So I think the most impressive thing is the court vision, his decision making for a young guy. I mean, when you see him play, he looks like a veteran already. You know, he can make plays off the dribble, he can pick and roll, he can shoot. He's a good all-around player already, and that at such a young age. And some of the passes, some of the decision making he does, it's been amazing and fun to watch.
Dirk Nowitzki on LUKA Doncic, and it takes a lot to get Dirk to be impressed.
Absolutely. I mean, he's first ballot Hall of Fame. But if you watch LUKA, you see a lot of promise. His ability to find open people, to run the court, rebound the basketball, shoot the basketball. Dirk explained it best. He's a great all-around player already.
And the numbers really don't do a whole lot of justice to Doncic because the international game is so much different. It's a 40-minute game, and so nice finish that time by Schwo to make it 10-9 Beijing. And they've scored the last 7 points.
Yeah, it's an easy fit, in my opinion, for LUKA here with the Mavericks right away because he passes the basketball and Dorian knocks down the little pull-up jump shot. I think anytime you look to pass the basketball, guys are going to enjoy you being out on the floor with you.
And the style of passes that he makes too, Harp. He sees a lot of things. It's fun. It's a fun style of basketball. It's fun to play, fun to watch.
Hamilton thought about the three. Shot clock at 5. Jackson on the crossover. Doncic bit on the shot fake, but the shot doesn't go.
Come on,
that's a nice line by Jackson to Hamilton. He couldn't finish, and Finney Smith out of the traffic. Nice cut by Finney Smith for the layup. Okay, this is a great opportunity now for Dorian Finney-Smith. You don't want necessarily to get it because of an injury to Harrison Barnes, but he's going to get the time to show that the improvement in his game is there.
Well, that was a very intelligent cut that time by Dorian to the rim. And Dallas a really good passing team offensively.
And guys, it's one play after him stepping into one dribble and knocking down a jumper on the other end.
No glass.
He did not call that. There is no way he called that.
It still counts, too. He doesn't have to call.
I think I see spidering on the backboard there. He hits that thing so hard. Game tied at 13. And Schwo underneath tied up with Jordan. We're seeing already more from DeAndre Jordan, different aspects of his game than we ever saw playing with the Clippers.
Well, you get a big that can pass the basketball. He faces up right at the free throw line. Going to get a lot of easy baskets. Dallas has quite a few guys that like to make that dive cut to the rim and create really, really easy baskets.
That foul on the Ducks, their 5th, and here's Jordan knocking down the first foul shot. This is something to watch all year long, obviously, but a much improved free throw shooter, and in fact has improved his free throw percentage every year for the last 4 years.
But how ironic is it, Coop, that we get Jordan here and Rick can't do the hacker Jordan thing anymore because he did that a lot. I mean, I can recall so many games where late in the game, trying to junk the game up, Coach Carlisle would foul him.
And he knocks. That one was 3 quarters.
He's going to get another one
though.
Yeah.
On the radio side, talking with Brad about Jordan's shooting form, and he always looked at his shooting form. He has good form. It's not like Shaq where he was all over the place. I mean, he would do the same thing pretty much every time.
So with that being said, it becomes mental for you. If you think they're going to go into, you see the ball go in the rim, you're going to make more than you miss.
And Jordan takes advantage of the extra opportunity to put the Mavericks up by 2 with 4.5 to play in the first quarter. Hamilton on the handoff, and they weave out top. Good job by Smith. Made Jackson fall. 1 to shoot. Hamilton from 3 off the back of the rim, and Jordan alone for his 4th rebound of the first quarter. Doncic trying to go behind his back, draws the reach-in foul on Jackson, and he'll go to the line to shoot.
And that's conceivably a smaller, quicker player he's trying to go behind his back on hard.
Yeah, that's the thing that has impressed me the most is his handles. The guy can really handle that rock for that size. You're going to find the ball in his hands quite a bit. Dennis Smith Jr. working off of screens, things of that nature, which I think will bode well for him because he's so explosive offensively and is always looking to score.
Absolutely. I think it's real interesting, too, and you talk to some of the players that played these pickup games with him, they don't really know what position to call him.
Right.
They're going, he's kind of a point,
forward.
Well, remember the day after the draft when LUKA came to Dallas at the news conference, and Rick said at that time, I can't wait to match him up against opposing 4s.
Yeah.
Because there are not many opposing 4s who are going to be able to guard him out on the floor.
My point, how many guys are going to be able to handle a guy at the 4?
Line change for the Mavericks on that second free throw save for Doncic, who will come out the next dead ball. And Aaron Jackson fouled by Jalen Brunson, having checked into the game, along with Salah Mejri, Maxi Kleber, and Devin Harris, back for his 3rd go-round as a member of the Mavericks.
Yeah, I saw Devin this summer, and he couldn't wait to get back here, is what the thing is for him. He was just passing through Denver after that trade at the trade deadline.
I tell you, that day he was traded, and Ryan Brokoff's going to come in the game, and we'll talk more about Brokoff in a second, but that day in San Francisco, when that trade went down,
after shoot around,
that was such a human moment, and I don't think anyone should ever want to be in the room when that phone call comes down like that. I mean, it was absolutely devastating.
Tough situation, and a lot of times you don't get to see the worst of things, but I remember that particular practice, and it was a sad moment. But all is well that ends well.
All is well. Maverick, truly an MFFL if there ever was one. And Jackson on the drive, can't finish, and Brunson's going to draw another foul.
If I'm Brunson, I'd give Jackson a step, force him to knock down a couple of jump shots, which he has the ability to do. But you got to know who you're guarding. There's a little brush screen there, too, to knock him off. But you can almost go under him and force him to shoot that ball from the outside.
And Aaron Jackson wound up last year playing with the Houston Rockets and actually played in 7 of their playoff games on their way to the Western Conference Finals.
So he has some experience, some toughness.
Well, the Mavericks right now with Brunson, Harris, Brokoff, Maxi Kleber, and Salah Mejri on the floor, and Kleber with the rebound after Jackson misses them both. Brunson out of the national championship Villanova team. Harris spotting up for three. And a good rebound by Maxi Kleber in traffic, getting the inside position, drawing the foul.
Look at Maxi. Maxi's gotten stronger, man. This guy has worked this summer. He's had a great summer. Sure, his first year, he can be a good offensive rebounder, good position underneath. Able to get to the free throw.
Maxi, 35 starts last year. Basically from the middle of November to the beginning of January. Was
held his own, too.
He really did.
In that role. I like what I saw from him as a starter.
I think he's one of the better bigs we have to it, defending up top. You know, you get switched up on a guard. He does a pretty good job of keeping guys in front of him.
And challenging the shot.
Yes, sir.
At the same time.
No good on the jumper. Brokoff had the rebound taken away from him. And Jackson will pull up and rattle it home.
He looks like the most experienced guy out there right now.
Well, he's been around a long time.
He's played well.
Until he got to the Rockets last year, he had not been in the NBA after leaving Duquesne in 2009. He's got a steal here.
That was a good decision.
Good job by Brunson to turn it back. For an open three that wasn't there. Here's Jalen Brunson through the traffic. And Devin Harris on the blow-by, able to draw the foul, and will be shooting free throws when we return. And the Mavericks holding a 2-point lead with a minute 55 remaining in the first on Fox Sports Southwest.
Look, if you're not the lead dog, the scenery never changes. That's why this is the view for every other full-size pickup. And this year, it's deja vu all over again. Because only the Ford F-150 gives you best-in-class torque.
On this roster as the Mavericks continue to get younger and more athletic and try to turn this roster over.
Well, at some point, you have to do that. You have to turn the roster over, and you hopefully do it with young, solid talent. And some of these guys have been pretty good for a week of training camp. This is an opportunity to showcase a little bit more against real competition.
You know, we've talked about the new guys and what they mean. It's a pretty deep Maverick team. I think there's good competition for spots, getting minutes around 9 or 10, those sorts of areas. Good depth up front.
Of course, a couple people not playing tonight. J.J. Barea, Harrison Barnes sitting it out tonight because of the hamstring injuries.
Yeah.
J.J. a little farther along toward the return. We may see him in China. Harrison Barnes, we're not going to see in China.
You have to err on this.
Absolutely.
Side of caution.
You're not messing around.
Doing preseason. Such a short preseason now.
So Jackson on the handoff. That was nice. And a nice job by Brokoff getting his hands in. But Jackson able to get it back and finish.
Was doing everything. That time an offensive rebound and put back against a pretty good shot blocker in Salah measure.
Final 80 seconds of the first quarter. Nice. Oh, there's a nice no-look from Harris for the dunk. Salah Mesri.
Part of that bench mob right there. Devin, Salah. I expect some big things from their bench. You need production there.
Hey, Devin Harris getting a workout defensively here, isn't he?
Hard to get by Devin, though.
Forced by Jung Peng. No good, and a good traffic rebound by Kleber.
Nice.
Right idea.
Yeah,
right idea.
Our first Devin Harris backdoor cut of the year.
Sometimes you got to go up top, though.
Notice working it with the left-hander on the left side of the floor, as opposed to when JJ does it from the right side of the floor. Brokoff moved his feet well, made Jackson give it up. And Jung Peng couldn't get that one to go. And last shot time of the quarter for the Mavericks. In and out for Brunson at the horn. And that'll do it for the first quarter, as the Mavericks will take a 3-point lead for the second. Shot 7 of 16 from the floor, leading the Beijing Ducks by the count of 21-18. And a good look from some of the new guys, including DeAndre Jordan and LUKA Doncic on Fox Sports Southwest. And welcome back to the preseason opener for the Mavericks against the Beijing Ducks. Start of the second quarter, Mavericks with a 21-18 lead. Mavericks 7 of 16 shooting from the floor. The Ducks 7 of 21. And the Mavericks doubling up the Ducks on the board, 16-8. DeAndre Jordan 4 rebounds in his 8 minutes of play. And the Ducks with it to start the second quarter. And Devin Harris called for a blocking foul.
I tell you who had the first, or probably the most impressive first quarter to me was Coop Harp. He was nailing these names. He'd say a name, and I'd look down to see if I could match it. I was like, I can't read any of this stuff.
Coop is a pro's pro.
Hey, man, I was ready to invoke the Johnny Most rule tonight.
Okay.
The big guy to the little guy.
I would have been fine with that. I would have expected that, but, man, you're rocking this.
Well, we're talking about the Mavericks anyway. The new look Mavericks at that.
And a blocking foul against Jalen Brunson, who's picked up his 3rd foul. And Justin Hamilton will go to the free throw line.
It was the block call.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
It's way outside of the restricted area. That was a bad call, I think.
It looked like he led with his big, giant knee as well.
Everybody's in preseason mode, is that what you're saying?
Yes, I was scoring right there. From the
I'm glad that we've been together long enough. We've known each other such a long that I can maybe even finish your sentence every now and then.
That time. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hamilton knocks down a pair of free throws to make it a 1-point game. See if they can free up Brokoff. Really want to see him shoot the ball.
They can really shoot it.
Harris into traffic and draws the foul.
A lot of attacking of the Dallas guards, getting inside, getting in the paint, creating problems.
Well, these will be free throws 10 and 11 for the Mavericks.
It tells you they're attacking.
Well, and going to the free throw line is something the Mavericks have not done a whole lot of the last couple of years. They shot just under 19 a game last year. That was the second fewest in the NBA, just ahead of Sacramento. And they were last in free throws attempted 2 years ago when they averaged just 18 and a half free throws attempted per game. Harris splits the free throws here to make it a 2-point game.
All the good teams, great players, they get to the free throw line.
Right.
That's like bonus points for you.
Harden lives there.
Yeah. LeBron lives there.
I think a guy that we're going to see a seismic jump in free throw attempts is Dennis. Part of it reputation, part of the position in which he'll be attacking.
Well, and Harrison Barnes improved from year to year getting to the free throw line.
Yes,
That's
sir.
always been one of his challenges, is trying to shoot more.
Shot clock at 9. And a 3-pointer from the right side for Schwo.
That's my guy.
Or actually make it a 2-pointer. His toe on the line.
Oh, pretty comfortable on the pull-up there. That shit.
Seen him do it many times.
Well, you might talk to Stephon Marbury, who was with this team.
Yes.
For a long time. Won some championships with this team.
He's a legend. He's a legend over in Beijing.
I figured all those guys would be wearing Starberries. Are they not?
You're my shoe guy. Are they or not?
Those aren't real shoes, though. Strawberries are hard.
Nice exchange there. And Salah can't finish.
Well, that's right in his wheelhouse, though. That little jump hook there, just a little bit short.
Okay.
Well, Salah changed that one, and Mavericks will get it. Good job by Mesri there.
Yeah, another example of how you don't always have to block the shot. As long as you can change it sometimes, that's equally as effective.
And the legal screen then set by Mesri. So we're hearing a lot of whistles here at the beginning of the second quarter, and certain points of emphasis from the officials this year, especially as it relates to wrapping up around players and creating more freedom of movement for the offensive players. A timeout taken by Beijing. Early second quarter here at the American Airlines Center, tied at 22 on Fox Sports Southwest. With San Antonio and Denver and Toronto, and this is the first time that the Mavericks have ever hosted an international team here in Dallas. Of course, 6 years ago they went over to Europe and played in Berlin and Barcelona against Alba Berlin and FC Barcelona.
Coop, I'm going to assume that's not the Continental Basketball Association where those championships were won?
That is not.
Okay,
they did not beat the Albany Patroons.
No. Good squad, the Albany Patroons.
Where's your guy?
Yeah, he's killing it over there. I've always said you can't let him work the right side of the floor, guys. He's going to schmill you to death.
One of those 3 members of the Chinese national team on this Beijing Ducks roster, Shuo Feng. The first look from Ryan Brokoff out of the corner, and this may be the guy, fellas, who could take over the role that Doug McDermott did so well last year before he moved on to Indiana.
He's going to be on the floor, that's for sure. Mainly because his ability to knock down shots.
He was a 50% three-point shooter last year for Lokomotiv Kuban in the Russian league.
The Mavericks passed the ball well. That's an excellent find cross court. And Brokoff just stepped into it, knocked it in. It's a shortage of shooting, in my opinion, in the NBA right now. And, you can spread the floor by knocking down the shots. You have a place.
Well, the Mavericks have struggled in that regard.
Yeah.
Let's be real about this.
Shooting both.
They've shot under 45% from the floor in each of the last 3 years, in the bottom 5 of the league in the last 3 years of doing that. And they've been shooting more and more three-pointers, so they need someone to shoot the three. And Brokoff, who gets the rebound there, just may very well be able to fill that role.
Yeah, I've been watching him as Luka brings the ball up. Dennis getting ready to attack. Uh-oh.
Stopping on a dime. Can't finish it, though. Nice ball fake by Doncic. And finds the open man. And Brokoff can't finish it.
Watching him after practice when they let the media in, he's mesmerizing. He shoots it with a lot of arc, and it's a very soft release. He's fun to watch shoot.
Shuo comes up short. There's a good rebound by Doncic.
Yeah, this left side of the floor, Harp, is not his. You put him on the right side.
There you go. Dennis Smith finds the open man on the weak side. And Maxi Kleber able to finish it.
Easy baskets, really important.
Maverick lead 3, little over 3 minutes into the second quarter. Kick ball on that drive by Xiaoyu.
Hamilton, the 4th official on that call.
Here's Maxi Kleber. Really nice pass by Dennis Smith, but again, Kleber making himself available, Derek.
His size, really good in the open court, running the floor. That was the half court, obviously, but Kleber could get out and run.
Shuo has been Beijing's offense for the most part, along with this guy, Hamilton, who beats the clock.
That's tough. That's an excellent finish that time. Off the bounce, got inside, and really aware of that shot clock. Just got it off.
Doncic for 3, and that looks sweet.
Well, if they're not going to cover him out there, I think he's probably going to knock those down. Pretty looking shot. For the game, Rick was talking about we may have to coax him into shooting a little bit more. Almost like the old Steve Nash routine where Nelly had to fine him if he didn't take 10 shots a game.
Or Jason Kidd, for that matter.
Sure.
You know, look how long it took Kidd, but again, left alone, and he shoots way too well. Way too good on form to be able to.
He had a lot of time
like
to organize himself to knock that one in. That was an easy basket for LUKA.
Yeah, he was making plans before he took that shot.
Mavericks now over the limit. Hamilton back on the foul line, and DeAndre Jordan makes his way back into the game.
One shot. DeAndre Jordan.
Hamilton knocks down the second one. Mavericks lead is 2. Carlisle wanting his starters back in here, give them a longer run. On the stop and go. Good find by Smith. Matthews unable to knock it down from the corner. But a good cut by Matthews, and he draws the foul. And another good pass, Derek, by DeAndre Jordan.
He passes it a lot better than I've seen him pass it. The guy obviously has a good skill set, but I don't remember him making passes of this nature with the Clippers. That's an excellent find that time. Wesley did a good job of giving him somewhere to go with that pass.
Yeah, you know, and I don't remember him ever having the ball unless he was dunking it there, quite honestly.
No, or just as part of it, maybe a quick give and go with the guards or something like that, but never where he's asked to create.
I think he's looking to pass the basketball.
Yeah, Casey Smith, the Mavericks athletic trainer, taking a look at Wesley Matthews here. Might have gotten bopped on the head.
Catch an elbow on an
reverse.
upfake, yeah. Oh, there you go.
Chin action there. That hurts even more. I wish it was an elbow.
Yeah, and he's heading back to the locker room as well. I believe.
Ouch.
Ouch. How many chins did you get in your career, Derek?
It's happened, is all I can say. You get a lot of things, you're out there long enough. Okay. I recall a lot of stitching up.
Go back in the truck, they were just reminiscing about the time where Carl Landry's teeth got lodged in Dirk's elbow.
Absolutely.
What a moment that was.
Wes Matthews' numbers from last year, 38%, right around his career average. Much better three-point shooting from the corners, though, and that's really where the Mavericks would love to get him spotted up this year.
Got to step up and make them, which he does a lot.
Aaron Jackson on the pull-up. And Jordan snaring another rebound. That's 6 for him tonight. Matthews draws the foul from Schwo, and we'll go right back to the foul line.
Wesley's showing more confidence right now in the open court with the ball. Here you see him just probing, attacking, and getting himself to the free throw line. I think a lot of times you cringe sometimes when you see certain guys in the open court. You can tell that's something that he's worked on to get better at. And his confidence is up with the basketball.
And we've talked a lot about the work that player development coach God does in helping guys with their handle, but also factor in Wesley losing 8 to 10 pounds and probably feel a little lighter and healthy, and what's a nice little combination there.
Well, certainly as healthy as he's ever been as a member of the Mavericks.
Yeah, good point.
5-point Maverick lead. And DeAndre Jordan gets whistled by Ben Taylor for a foul. DeAndre comes over for a little discussion. Tell you, the smile on his face is just infectious. And again, when you don't see a guy all the time,
right?
You don't really know. But from the moment he walked in last Friday, guys, at Media Day, I mean, this is a guy who just lights up the room. And Rick made mention of it in his pregame talk tonight about how he's really taken on a leadership role on this team just a few days into training camp.
And it's a part of his personality, Harp, quite frankly, I didn't know about. I think because of the way the last contract situation went down, I think a lot of people maybe thought he was wishy-washy, or he's not. He's already taken on a leadership role, especially on the defensive end, and he's already been a welcome presence for this team.
I think Dallas will be so much improved on the defensive end. The pass should have been higher. Good find.
Tip. Jordan couldn't get that one to go.
Already had the timeout, right?
19 on the shot clock. Wes Matthews. in great shape. He and DeAndre Jordan, of course, were supposed to come to Dallas together. For whatever reason, didn't quite happen, but 3.5 years later is better than never happening. And here's Hamilton for 3.
Timing is everything. Quietly, though, Beijing sticking around. They're playing hard to give themselves a chance.
Doncic.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we like that. Off balance.
That's handles. That's sick handles.
That's unteachable stuff, right?
That's unguardable stuff is what it boils down to.
It was never like a crazy burst of athleticism. It was all control and size and skill.
Hamilton, who's been hot. Online but long. Matthews on the reach and foul as Schwo playing the pick and roll game. LUKA Doncic with the handle, the control, and everything that has made him the most accomplished international player that has ever come into the NBA at age 19. Mavericks a 2-point lead with 5:43 left in the first half on Fox Sports Southwest.
Emerson. Welcome back to downtown Dallas. The American Airlines Center. The Mavericks hosting the Beijing Ducks in the first preseason game of the year. Dana Larson here with you, and thrilled to have Cedric Ceballos back for another season of Mavericks basketball. So happy to have you, Cedric.
Summer was too long. Let's play some ball.
That's right. Let's get this thing going. Of course, high expectations for the rookie. What are your impressions so far of LUKA Doncic?
Well, I love him. I love him the way he's moving the ball. You see a lot of mistakes because he just doesn't know the way his teammates are going to have to be in the position, and that just comes with just hanging around each other. He has an opportunity to be really good, as he's shown it so far, and he's just a baby. He's just a baby, only 19 years old.
Only 19 years old. We just saw the highlight before the break, and that's exactly what you said. He's playing kind of beyond his years already.
Yeah, I was here when Dirk was here, and the biggest thing about Dirk in his first games, even the preseason, he was very nervous, didn't know what to expect. Obviously, he had the talent, but it seems like right now, LUKA is so relaxed out there. He doesn't seem anxious. He doesn't seem in a hurry. He knows he messed up a couple of plays with some turnovers, but other than that, he's playing fine. I mean, only 10 minutes of basketball. Coach don't want him out there that long. He's got a long flight to China.
Well, and we've got a long year ahead that we can't wait for, certainly, and getting a sneak peek here tonight, fellas. Looking forward to a whole season of Mavs Live pre- and post games with Ced Ceballos, and boy, we're just glad Mavs basketball is back, guys.
I don't think you're the only one. I think Skin, Harp, I think we can speak for everybody.
Absolutely.
Saying that it's good to be back.
And you know what? Not just basketball being back. This basketball that we're going to watch this year is going to be a really fun brand of hoop.
New and improved.
Yes, sir.
Brand of basketball here in Dallas.
DeAndre Jordan with one more to come. Mavericks shooting 42%. The Ducks 35.5% from the floor. The Mavericks, though, just 11 of 17. The 17 free throw attempts, that's the good news. The 11 makes, not so good.
Right.
Got to be better in that area.
You got to make them. There's no question about it. Doesn't do you any good to get there if you don't capitalize on it. But getting there, I think, is an impressive thing as well for Dallas.
Hamilton playing out of the post, shot clock down. Did he get it away in time? Apparently he did, but this isn't Doncic with the rebound. And he and Dennis Smith about that miscommunication that Ced was just talking about, just not knowing where everybody's going to quite be.
If you have miscues with guys that know each other, you're certainly going to have some with guys that are trying to get implemented in a new system.
And we, from the angle, here's the lob. And from the angle, we saw a guy, the second LUKA got that rebound, he was thinking DSJ lob. The second he got that rebound.
And it's all timing. I mean, they're talking right now, discussing it. You'll see that play made at some point in the season.
Yes, sir.
Justin Hamilton leading all scorers in the game with 16 points. Knocking down the first one. Are you a Mavs fan with commitment issues? No problem. You can still get your Mavs fix and catch marquee matchups by purchasing a 10-game plan. By becoming a 10-game plan ticket member, you'll have access to exclusive member perks. Visit Mavs.com/10 for more information.
I like that promo. Mavs fan with commitment issues, huh?
The less said on that particular subject for all.
Line forms to the left.
First foul here.
Mavericks trying to get that ball moving, but a lot of whistles here in the second quarter. Justin Hamilton gets called for the foul.
It's got to be refreshing for these guys out here for Dallas, just to be playing against real competition, opposed against themselves.
Right.
Training camp can be a drag.
Well, just think now, back in the day when
oh my
you
God,
played,
when there were 14 tour days, yeah.
I was gonna say, and here you got 2.5, 3-hour session, one of them a day, and that's it.
Yep, it's incredible.
The Pat Riley Death March.
I'm telling you, man, it was tough in that day.
Jordan splitting free throws. And the game tied with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. As we are tied for the 4th time tonight. And another foul. And Jordan got called for the same thing again. And we were talking about this earlier, this point of emphasis. And Monty McCutcheon, who's now in charge of referee training and development, the incidental wrap-up in the post, which always used to be allowed, even if it really wasn't on the books. Well, they're calling that now, and that's going to be a huge change for guys guarding the post especially.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you talk about breaking old habits. A lot of times take a long time to break those old habits, so we may see this spill on into October and November.
You have to go about it in an intelligent way. You can't just grab a guy and make things so obvious when it comes to that particular play, that wrap-up.
It's one of those things, Harv, if they let you get away with it, you've been doing it for 10 years, now you gotta adjust.
Yep. That's what this league is about, adjusting.
Beautiful change of pace by Dennis Smith Jr. for the finish.
He's so skilled off the bounce. Able to do a lot of different things. He finished because of that elevation.
Started finishing a lot better toward the end of last season. That was a nice one there. Tie the game at 38. Hamilton wants it. He's got Matthews on his back. There's a good job by Dorian Finney-Smith to break that up.
DSJ, shake, crossover to the hoop.
Oh, that bounce.
Avoiding another defender in the back. Everybody in the league can't do that.
Harp, that looked quick in slow motion. Just bounced off the balls with his feet.
Hamilton in the lane, but can't finish it. Again, a good traffic rebound by Doncic. And this is something the Mavericks haven't had in a long time. A guy who can go 70 feet with it. Find the open Cleveland for 3.
He just sucked everybody inside. Harp.
Kid has good, good foot speed.
Absolutely.
Is what he has for his size. He gets out and go.
Third 3 of the night for the Mavericks. 3 of 9 from deep.
Defense by Cleveland.
Excellent defense there. And here's Finney-Smith on the move. And a nice kick out again. And Cleveland open, and he finishes again.
Stretch 4, stretch 5. That's where the league is. With the pace and space. Mavericks got both that particular time. Pushed it at the Beijing's defense. And able to create something easy for Cleveland.
And guys, you'll remember early on last year, Maxey was short on all his threes, the little change in the distance of the line. Now on 2 threes, he looks really good, dialed in, and he knows that distance.
Well, his last 5 games last year, he went 8 of 15 from behind the line. And again, there was so much going on at the end of last season. The results didn't matter as much as player development, and you could see the 3-point shot coming, and it's picked up here in the first game of the preseason.
That's one of the things that surprised me about him as the season carried on, got longer. He got better shooting the basketball from the outside. I recall you talking all the time, Skin, about how his shot looked flat.
Right.
Not so much now. He's getting it up, and it's going in for him.
Well, Maxey, Mavericks leading scorer here in the first half with 10. Doncic has 8. He's chipped in 4 rebounds as well. I'd say that's a fairly efficient 10 minutes, 3 of 3 from the floor, including both of those 3-pointers.
I don't think there's any doubt there's more comfort with Kleber being out on the floor. He kind of has a better feel for this system. And a lot of times, if you just spot up, if you're just in the right place at the right time, you're going to get some excellent looks. The rest is up to you to step into him and knock him in.
Absolutely. And along that same line there, Harp, don't you think that Dorian looks more comfortable?
Absolutely. Dorian, the different intangibles that he brings might not always show up on the offensive end of the floor, but his defense is his mainstay as a player.
But as Skin said, that first basket that Dorian had tonight off the bounce, able to hit that little mid-range shot. If he can make that on a regular basis,
game changer.
Game changer for him and for the Mavericks for sure. And underneath, the foul against Kleber. And free throws coming for Siren Jeong. Or actually, Hamilton will get to the line.
You never know what to expect from a team like Beijing, but I'm pretty impressed with what they've done out on the floor.
Devin Harris back into the game for the Mavericks as Kleber will sit down, and Rick Carlisle goes with his first small lineup of the preseason.
You're going to see some small ball.
So is LUKA the 5 here? Is LUKA the 5 or is Dorian the 5?
Let's just say Wes is the 5 and make it interesting.
Well, it depends on which end of the floor.
Well, Hamilton is guarding DFS if he's the 5. A little too much dribble that time by Doncic through the traffic. Smith gets called for the foul, trying to come on the bottom side, got there late.
Yeah, but Hamilton is one of those guys, though, that's been around long enough to know how to seal you off once he has you behind him. And he attacked the ball that time. So that's put Dorian in a difficult position.
Hamilton with 20 of Beijing's 40 points. And his first one good. Doncic on the bounce, but again, that's the thing that Rick Carlisle wants his team to get away from.
Right.
Pass it. No more than a couple of bounces. Not on that third or fourth bounce.
The problem with bouncing it, Coop, is that the whole arena is looking at you bouncing. So the defense is automatically in position.
Smith with a long 2. And Hamilton with the rebound. And a turnover as Schwo
was zigging,
going for a spot that wasn't there. That's just the 3rd turnover by Beijing here in the first half. The final 2 minutes of the first half and a 2-point Maverick lead, and another foul. And it has been quite the parade to the free throw line. These will be free throws 13 and 14 for the Mavericks here in the second quarter.
There's no question. They've been in attack mode. And as a result, they've given themselves some opportunity to get to the line. And as you alluded to earlier, you got to make those when you get there.
And Dennis really has to be better in this area. He was a 69%, and that's not good enough for a guy who's got the ball in his hands. He really needs to be at 75 to 77%.
He shot 69, Coop, and had to improve.
Yes.
Throughout as the season came to a close last year. So as much as he's going to have the basketball, you're going to get fouled a lot. Skin talked about him getting to the free throw line more, but after getting there, you got to make them.
3-point Maverick lead, 1:50 remaining in the half.
Talking about dribbling.
Yeah. But they got the mismatch on. Oh, and there from the weak side, Doncic with the left-hand block.
A little bit of everything.
Good find by Smith. Good block by Hamilton out of bounds.
was a really good close and stand front by Hamilton, man.
He did a good job.
Go back to the other end here for LUKA for the weak side.
That's excellent vision to see the advantage inside with DSJ, and there you see Doncic comes over and erases the easy shot for Hamilton.
Boy, that's really crafty, too, because like LUKA knew that he was going to go right up without a shot blocker being out there.
Matthews powering his way to the basket and draws the foul.
That still looks like a different player.
He does.
With what he's doing out there.
And also, look, you know, he's had a couple of corner threes that haven't gone down for him, so he's trying to find different ways to create and score for himself, and that was a strong move to the basket again.
Yeah, percentage-wise, he was great shooting the three last year. I don't think you worry about that.
Not at all.
Matthews 7 points, 5 of which have come at the foul line. And knocks down that second one. The Mavericks' biggest lead tonight has been 6. They lead by 5 right now in the final 80 seconds of the half. Can he make it from the left side of the floor?
We'll see. No, not even close. So there's a method to your madness.
Smith playing off the ball now as LUKA has it. Deep three for Dennis, and got it.
No hesitation there, Hart.
Well, that's what I like about that. He's missed a couple of open shots tonight, but still with the confidence to pull up and knock down that three.
Biggest lead of the night for the Mavericks. The final 40 seconds. Three-pointer off the mark. Harris with the rebound. And about a 4.5-second difference in the shot clock and game clock to end the first half. Oh, how did he keep his balance there? And he finishes!
I'm satisfied. I'm going home at half, guys.
Incredible.
I think he's ready to get the real thing going.
Man.
Athleticism that time. Good hands by Dorian.
Excellent.
That's going in. Please go in.
Just missed it to the right of the rim. Big finish to the end of the first half for Dennis Smith Jr. How did he keep his balance there and able to finish it on the reverse? The final points of a 16-4 Mavericks run over the last 4:29 of the first half to give the Mavericks a 10-point lead at the intermission against the Beijing Ducks. Mavericks led by Smith and Kleba, both with 10 points, leading 52-42 on Fox Sports Southwest. And making that last move after doing the splits, which you don't normally get away with.
Like a dancer.
Yes.
Like a dancer. James Brown going down, coming back up.
You gonna say he's the hardest working man in the NBA?
I expect him to have a special year this year. Last year was kind of a learning year for him. I think he's going to be a lot more comfortable, and he's going to understand that you got to mix up your speeds as a point guard in this league.
Well, Dennis has certainly worked hard. You can see his body is much improved, especially in his upper body. And he claims he's even grown an inch. He's listed at 6'3", but he said on media day, I'm absolutely 6'4".
I think his hair is just taller, Hart.
Here comes Doncic, and there's the hand check to prevent what could have been a spectacular pass, because we're expecting to see that every time LUKA has the ball in his hands.
Well, just a real subtle thing. You know, there's a place on the floor, right at that free throw line, where you're supposed to gather yourself and become under control. He did that excellent that time and able to draw a foul after the Mavericks have a little small miscue there on the second possession of his third quarter.
Hamilton had a 22-point first half for Beijing. He's underneath the basket and tips it to himself. And able to draw the foul.
He's a workhorse. I mean, he's making a lot of stuff happen underneath that rim for Beijing.
The third foul on Wesley Matthews. And Schwo will inbound. And an offensive foul against the Ducks. Only 5 turnovers for the Ducks tonight. Oh, nice slip by Jordan to the rim for the finish.
That was beautiful. And, you know, Dennis put the ball where he had to put it for DeAndre to catch it, and then he contorted his body to get that dunk.
Well, the
that was
impressive
really
thing
nice.
is that he didn't even put it on the floor. He was able to go right back up, being so athletic.
Schwo trying to get it into the post. Dennis Smith gets called for a foul. Boy, this is pretty from Jordan. As good as anyone in the NBA, Derek, at doing that.
Well, that's his role. I mean, he's not a pick and pop guy. He's a pick and roll guy. And used his ability to get upstairs for that jam that time.
He also just makes himself so big when he's in a position to catch the ball.
Well said, Coach.
Here's Schwo's pop. Hamilton offensive foul as he threw the elbow into and knocked over Wesley Matthews.
Hamilton, known as the Beijing Bull, just plowing over guys.
Well, he certainly
is he known as the Beijing Bull? Or you?
He is now, Coop.
Yes. I like that. I do like that.
You have to Google some of this.
Yeah, yes, you do.
Absolutely.
There is no question about that. Off the pull-up, Smith able to hit it, and they really want him to be able to do that. That's the most that he spent this summer working on his jump shot off the bounce.
Yes, that kind of control, he's going to be able to get that shot anytime. He's really under control, backing the defense off that time.
Guys were scared. They got to back off, and he's going to fly by him.
Smith's got a dozen. And this is a 20-4 run now for the Mavericks going back to the end of the first half. And there's Jordan coming over to knock it away out of bounds.
Got a shot blocked 4 times on that one shot. Eaton.
A lot of talking from Jordan after that block. I can't repeat on the air what was said, but he let Hamilton know that time.
We have an away from the play foul against Wesley Matthews before the ball was inbounded, so 1-shot foul for Hamilton, and then the Ducks will get the ball back. And this is what you get in preseason. Just a lot of whistles just to let everybody know that you know, we're gonna look at this, and you better pay attention to it.
What? Okay.
Wesley did a good job of fighting over that screen, man.
That looked like basketball to me, guys. I don't know.
That's November basketball.
Yeah.
Yes.
not necessarily October basketball. Or September basketball, as the case may be.
Too early.
Way off the mark there. Smith on the hesitation, got the step, and he's going to finish it off.
That's superb vision that time in the open court. And again, I'm going to point to how under control Dennis Smith Jr. looks in tonight's contest.
That's 14 for Smith on 6 of 10 shooting.
I think Dennis Smith is going to be their leading scorer this year, guys. He's going to have a lot of opportunities to put the ball in the bucket.
Oh, good defense by Smith there. Better defense by Jordan. Oh, and they call a foul. Ben Taylor, the slot official, calls the foul. And Jordan gets called for that foul, but the effort's certainly there around the rim.
Well, it's there, and if you watch Jordan from the weak side, got a hand on that one, got a hand on that one. He always forces the offense to commit in what they're going to do before he actually goes on the attack to block shots. Really a smart Bill Russell shot block.
Well, and also, we saw it with Doncic, a left-handed shot block.
Yeah.
And left-handed shot blocking is very underrated because you're always, for the most part, on the side of where the shooter is shooting the ball from, most right-handed shooters.
And I think DeAndre is clever enough to keep the ball in play. You know, a lot of guys like to throw it up complete in the stands, but he really keeps it under control.
And there's the freedom of movement that we're talking about. Doncic cutting across the lane and being impeded, and the whistle comes. Xiaowei Wang called for that foul. Harris pops it.
Never got himself organized that time.
Yeah.
I could see that shot short the minute he let it go.
A little over 3 minutes gone here in the third quarter. And the Mavericks having upped the lead to 14. Hamilton with the turnaround.
Is he going to hang 50 on the Mavs?
Hamilton is tough. I don't think he gets to 50, but he's been very efficient and effective this season.
I do believe the high-scoring game against the Mavericks last year was Kyrie Irving's 47 in overtime, and this time Hamilton unable to lay it home.
Kyrie Irving's 47 looked like 50. I mean, he did it in a special way. I mean, the game was on the line.
Yes, it was.
That particular night, and he came up with some tremendous heroics.
On the high-low. And Doncic called for the reach-around foul. Mavericks are over the limit, and the path to the line about to be worn out. We've had 41 fouls called already and 46 free throws attempted. These will be free throws 47 and 48 tonight.
I hope you don't have anything to do with it.
I'm just here.
Right,
I'm just here with you. That's keeping you company.
Tell you what, that many fouls will have you here a little bit late.
I don't approve of 41 fouls in 28 minutes.
And the free throws split. Oh, here we go. First time tonight on the alley-oop. Smith to Jordan.
You could see it developing right away. The eye contact between the two.
That's such a big target you can put it into. Just put it anywhere in the vicinity.
He knows what to do with it.
Good ball movement there for the Ducks, but the jumper short. Jordan with his 8th rebound. And Smith on the crossover. Oh, Doncic is wide open, and he found him late, and nobody's near him for a 10 a.m. three.
Oh, that shot looks good.
Sure does.
Steps into that thing really nice.
You know what was interesting about that? DeAndre kind of barked at Dennis a little bit like, you should be releasing right now. Don't come back for this ball. Get out of here. I got it. That's going to be our transition game.
Lead up to 16.
Beijing's starting to wear down a little bit right now. Not nearly as efficient as they were in the first half.
As we know, they're a first-half team, guys.
Beautiful lob there to Jordan that time, and DSJ eventually finds a wide open LUKA. He stepped into it.
Jordan has never been lower than 3rd over the last 6 years in dunks in the NBA, and LUKA Doncic showing he's got plenty of range on that three-pointer. An 8-0 run for the Mavericks, and Doncic with 14 points.
There's a lot of basketball to play. This is only the beginning, but Doncic looks extremely solid as a player.
I think everybody can see what the fuss is all about. Shot clock off. Hamilton, the offensive rebound, and the stick back.
One-man wrecking crew in this third quarter.
The pull-up three, And Dennis Smith will shoot 3 times as he was run through. A big third quarter for LUKA Doncic with back-to-back threes. Able to set himself and fire 3 of 3 from behind the line tonight on a part of a 14-point night and a 17-point Mavericks lead.
Today we're here to talk about trucks.
I love trucks.
Well, what truck brand comes from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road?
I think it's the Chevy.
Ford.
It's not Ford.
I think it's Ram.
Not Ram either.
That's
It's Chevy.
Gorgeous.
Get a total value of $8,250 on this Silverado Texas edition. Plus, trade up and get an additional $3,250 total cash allowance when you finance with GM Financial. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
In electric cars and 18-wheelers and 737s from LaGuardia, they come. Exiles of snowstorms, expats of income tax, heading south for the stars. They may not know how to two-step, but no doubt, they could use a beer.
Let's say goodbye like we said hello, and our friendly come away.
TXU Energy Free Nights and Solar Days is backed by popular demand.
All day long, 100% solar power, no panels to install. It's awesome.
You're making me blush.
And nights are free, so you can stay cool all night long for free.
Oh, that is so cool. Makes me want to dance.
What is that?
Moonwalk.
You know how I feel about that.
What?
It's offensive.
Free Nights and Solar Days, only from TXU Energy.
Sonic's Double Stuffed Oreo Waffle Cone, made from Oreo wafers, layered with sweet Oreo cream, real ice cream, and Oreo cookie pieces. Talk about Oreo overload. Try one before they're gone.
Okay, Kevin, USAA Bank is here to help you stay on track. Budget's looking good. Clear for a fill-up? And green light some beef jerky, too. Thanks, Chief.
USAA Bank helps you stay a step ahead. Find help at every turn.
Yeah!
With USAA Bank.
So for me, whenever I was a free agent again, it was a no-brainer. And like I said, I'm happy to be here in this jersey, and I'm excited to play in front of these fans.
DeAndre Jordan on his return 3.5 years after the fact, but never too late to bring in someone of this talent with this type of consistency. The only active player in the NBA to own a pair of 15 rebound-a-game seasons.
Hopefully you guys forgive me.
You know what's funny, Harp?
I never had a problem with
Skin
him.
knows I'm
right?
talking to him.
Oh, absolutely.
Skin still had a problem? You had a problem?
No, I don't. But I can be thin-skinned guy as well. It's not just a name. You know what's funny, though, is and Harp, you mentioned this earlier, the whole timing aspect.
Yes.
You go back and look at where the Mavericks were and what else might have happened contract-wise and such if he had been here. It'd be a vastly different team. It'd be a much older team.
Yes.
Things worked out the way they worked out, and I can foresee him being here for a long time, even though it's just a one-year deal.
And I think that's where you go to the organization, because a lot of times there is some carryover from that.
Yes, sir.
They didn't think twice about signing this guy when they got the opportunity to sign him for a second time.
Absolutely. And he does what they need.
Exactly.
He does everything they need. I'm happy.
And he's showing us a little more than what we were able to see in Los Angeles with the Clippers.
I've always felt like he was a guy that could do more. You know, he kind of played in the shadow of Paul and Blake Griffin the whole time that he was in Los Angeles with the Clippers.
9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists tonight. Finney Smith knocks down the three-pointer from the right wing.
He's shooting with confidence.
I am ecstatic with how he looks. And it's not just the shot, it's just everything about how he's doing what he does, Harp. He looks like an NBA player.
I'll tell you what, you sit out 62 games.
You learn to love the game again, right?
That's exactly right. Has a lot to do with him.
And keep in mind, guys, that's a nice Smith move.
Jordan picks up his 5th foul against Justin Hamilton.
And Harp, you can speak on this because I think this matters. You know, when you have this infusion of youth as we take another look at this, guys.
It's a nice spin and a nice find that time over to Hamilton.
Ride of Cowboy.
But what I was going to talk about, Harp, and you've been in these situations with different teams, So LUKA and Dennis and Dorian all really like hanging out with each other. They play Fortnite together, and that stuff is infectious, and they feed off each other, and it's just a good thing to have on your team.
Well, you're talking about continuity, and that starts before preseason even gets here.
Yes, sir.
And it's always a positive when you can get guys. They're kind of the future, a part of the future. And we hadn't talked about Harrison Barnes. He's out with the hand, but this team is going to turn around quick.
Yes, sir.
Is what I think. Nice find.
Good drive and kick. And Doncic comes up short on that one, and around the horn they go. Oh, yeah, how about that?
Kid is special.
There is magic in those hands.
That kid is
and there's
special.
magic in that mind, I think.
He really is a special player. Supreme vision.
Well, I like that you said that as we get another look at it. Saying all that magic stuff because at that size and those handles.
It's a heads-up deal, though, to even get the shot off.
Well, did that kind of winning.
Hey, his very first basket in this game was a rebound coast-to-coast layup. So let's just have some fun here.
Doncic, 1 of 2 from the line, but Finney-Smith able to give the Mavericks an extra possession. Shot clock down to 2s. Matthews on the move. Good rebound, Kleber. Harris can't get it to fall. Good defense at the rim by Hamilton. Shot clock down to 5. Not a lot of movement by the Ducks. Hamilton with the force. Even with a rebound. Matthews on the drive and had it swatted away.
That's pretty good defense that time.
Mavericks have extended the lead to 19. Nice rebound from Doncic, who becomes that one-man fast break.
Of course that goes in. Yeah, it really matters when the guy that gets the rebound can push the way LUKA can, and he's probably going to have some big rebound games this year, guys.
You know, and we see it about 190 miles from here up in Oklahoma City.
Yes, sir.
Russell Westbrook gets that thing at the foul line or, at the dotted line, and he becomes one-man fast break there. Just forces play.
And you know what's interesting, too, guys, about this is, like, if you're 4, if he is a 4, I don't even know what position he is, but if that's the guy pushing the ball, most, the first thing you do in transition defensively, Harp, is you stop the ball. Well, most 4s aren't going to be accustomed to stopping the ball in transition, so then you start creating these cross matches and guys getting all crossed up in transition defense.
Well, it helps that he's pushing it, but he's looking for people.
Right.
He's trying to find open people. So that's the beauty of it, his ability to do it. Guys are going to get out and run and want to be a part of the finish.
Mavericks had a 10-point lead at halftime. It's a 20-point lead now as we come down on 3 minutes to play in the third. And Doncic with his second block of the night. Harris, a little out of control, but able to get rid of it. And winds up with it out of the corner to hit a 3.
That's so unselfish by 3 guys. The ball is hot. Those are nice rhythm shots because of the passing of the ball.
I heard the fans sitting behind me say, there you go, when he made that pass. Everyone feels it.
Mavericks up to 51% shooting for the game, 53% from 3. And with that turnover, a timeout on the floor for the Ducks. The Mavericks up by 23. They got it going, especially from 3-point range. Devin Harris off an extra pass from Wesley Matthews. Mavericks 76-53 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Look, if you're not the lead dog, the scenery never changes. That's why this is the view for every other full-size pickup. And this year, it's deja vu all over again. Because only the Ford F-150 gives you best-in-class torque, best-in-class payload, and you got it, baby, best-in-class towing. This is the big dog. This is the Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
Now drive a 2018 Ford F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months for a limited time at your Best in Texas Ford dealer.
NBA League Pass knows this game is all about choices. Go right or left. To the bucket, left hand. Step back or drive. Lay it off the glass or NBA League Pass
is all about choices. Watch the whole season.
Go month to month.
Yes. Follow my favorite team.
Or my favorite player.
Watch on my phone.
How you want it.
My TV.
Where you want it. Or my tablet.
Go to NBA.com/League Pass and make your choice.
We stay in the same building, so we'll hang out every now and again, play the game together. We hoop together, hoop against each other, so the camaraderie is gone. You can tell he's younger, but he's super cool. He just enjoys good company, always smiling. I think we can help get us to the playoffs, and that'll be pretty incredible for two young guys in the backcourt to do that. But I think we're capable of it.
Wait a minute. He said, well, he's younger.
There's so much.
Wait a minute. He's about, what, 15 months older?
Yeah,
so yes, technically he's correct that he's younger. But seriously, one's going to be 21 and one's going to be 20 by the end of the season, right?
There's so much to chew through there. I mean, that got me. I loved that. But think about this. As we've had this discussion about what position a guy plays, Dennis just said a young backcourt. He's talking about LUKA like he's a point guard, taking us all the way. There's a lot of fun stuff in those comments there.
Well, the fun for LUKA and the fun for Rick Carlisle is going to be in the ability to put him into matchup nightmare situations for Mavericks opponents.
You know, he shoots it a lot better than I realized. The guy can really shoot the basketball, and when you can handle it and shoot it, you're special as a player, especially at that size.
And as well as he handles it hard, guy's going to have to close out on him real hard. He's going to fly by him, get those little mini breaks in the half court like that.
Nice find.
He had a chance to finish that, but he found Kleba open out of the right corner, couldn't get it to fall.
Likes to pass.
Loves to pass. And another Beijing turnover. Mavericks,
heads-up play.
Yes, very heads-up play as Harris unable to lay it home.
Never thought he got
bumped. Devin still talking to official John Coble about that last trip down the floor. Hamilton passes up the shot. Goes across the way for a knockdown three.
I'm impressed with Hamilton.
Siren Jean.
There's a spot for him in this league.
Oh, beautiful. Second slip of the pick and roll by the center, and Doncic both times able to find him.
That's a no. That's a nifty play.
And Harp, it's so easy for him to, in that situation, no look over the top of those guys because he's so big.
He sees the floor.
Yeah.
Extremely well. Now that his size is what allows him to slip it right there. You see him looking to the outside and finding Kleba wide open underneath.
See, Dak, if you're watching at home, that sends the safety over to the other side of the field.
Opposed to being stuck on the primary receiver.
That was only Doncic's second assist of the night, but it seems like the ball moves just fantastically out of his hands to the right spot. Matthews falls down. Doncic open and travels as Hamilton ran out to him.
How dare he call it travel on Boy Wonder? Or is it Wonder Boy?
I think it's Wonder Boy.
I think you're right.
Now looking at number 21,
Jalen Jones checks in the game for the first time in his second year out of Texas A&M. Wesley Matthews' night likely done after 24 minutes. He'll sit down with 8 points and 3 rebounds. Final minute of the third. And again, the shot clock goes down under 5 seconds, and Beijing loses the ball.
That's good.
Plenty of time for Cleveland to tee it up and knock it down.
He's a pretty darn good catch and shoot guy.
You know, yesterday after practice, Rick said Dorian is an underrated playmaker, and we saw it a little bit right there.
Maxi Kleber's third 3 of the night. Mavericks began the game 0 of 4 from 3. They're now 10 of 18 for the game. Nice play by Brunson from behind to knock it away from Hamilton. Shot clock off. Mavericks with the last shot of the quarter. Doncic to play the ball handle role this time.
Got to roast this guy.
Pick and pop with Finney Smith. Oh. Jalen Jones went way upstairs to get that, but just could not get it close enough to the rim, and that'll do it for 3 quarters. And the Mavericks comfortably in front on Fox Sports Southwest.
There's a lot to smile about in every Volkswagen. Hurry in and get a value-packed 2018 Tiguan S for just $189 a month. Now with the People First warranty.
He's got legs of lumber and arms of steel. He eats a bowl of hammers at every meal. He can hold your house in the palm of his hand. He's your home man, not old man. Big Jim got you covered. Great Big Jim, there ain't no other.
So, this is covered, right?
Yes, ma'am. Take care of it for you right now.
Giddy up!
Hi, this is Jamie. We need some help.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger. We're getting busy in here. To me, quality means perfection. From the time that you hit the door to the time that you leave, we serve quality.
Their quality is just #1 for me. You can taste that with every burger. The customer service is perfect.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
It's always a great experience here.
The first bite makes you feel all warm and happy inside.
It's never disappointing, and it's always quality every single time we come.
Quality is what keeps you coming back.
Get your hometown Whataburger. Quality like no other.
DirecTV gives you more for your thing. If you've been waiting for a sign to quit cable, then here's some signs.
It came from the toaster.
Would you look at that? Now you can quit cable.
Switch to DirecTV for $35 per month. Rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable. More for your quitting cable thing. That's our thing. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Welcome back to the American Airlines Center as we start the 4th quarter. Your scoring leaders this evening, Luka Doncic leads the Mavericks in his professional NBA debut with 16 points. Justin Hamilton 29 and 12 for Beijing. DeAndre Jordan 8 rebounds. Go along with 9 points and a couple of blocks. And the Mavericks having to begin the 4th quarter, having blown it open late in the second, a 16-4 run to end the half, and then they outscore Beijing 29-14 in the 3rd quarter to lead 81-56 moving to the 4th. Mavericks getting some of their younger guys on the floor, including that man, Ray Spalding, in the right place at the right time with that steal. Brunson passed up the 3 powers to the rim and draws the foul and will go to the line.
It's a big part of his game. He's strong, can get in the lane and finish through contact.
So you know you're getting old when you, in your case, played against his father, and I broadcast his father's games at the Elite Eight when Temple played Michigan in Seattle in 1993.
So keep in mind, age is overrated.
Age is just a number? Or
it's just overrated.
All right, now here's a fun little fact. As we're talking about his father was the first ever client for a Temple grad named Leon Rose that went on to be a super agent that represented LeBron James, amongst other guys. And at the time, Leon Rose was just, I believe, a law student at Temple that sat behind the bench and made friends with Jalen Brunson's Papa Bear.
Jalen Brunson, a very accomplished player in his own right. Obviously, the reigning National Player of the Year in college basketball at Villanova. When he was winning, even back as an 18-year-old, FIBA Under-18 championships, he was the leader of that team. That one in Greece.
Heck of a high school career as well.
Yes.
In the Chicago, Illinois area.
That was a heck of a defensive stand by the Mavericks in the half court. He's trying to let one go.
Big opportunity here for the young guys. We're in the fourth quarter. Hamilton wide left.
Yeah, he's just tired.
Yeah, he's tired now.
Shut them all.
So somebody's going to have to put that elbow on ice. He's been able to do the majority of his damage at the foul line. He's 15 of 17 from the foul line, 15 of his 29 from there. 6 of 19 now from the floor.
He fits the NBA game really well. Hamilton.
And an offensive foul.
Yeah, Spalding that time out of position on the screen.
Ray Spalding coming over on draft night, originally drafted by Philadelphia. Came over with Kostas Antetokounmpo. Sent SMU Shake Milton to Philadelphia.
What a great name, Shake Milton. That's a basketball name right there.
Jalen Jones gets called for a foul away from the play. Ducks to inbound. Early fourth quarter, Mavericks, after a slow start, very much in control, and another offensive foul called against the Ducks. This time against the Ducks. You can say it's called against everybody tonight. There have been a lot of them away from the play. The 50th foul of the night.
Get them in while you can.
Yeah. Beijing for the game now down to just 25.9% shooting. Mavericks at 47%. Here's Brunson on the move. And a foul as he began that move.
We're talking Beijing. They shot a low percentage in the first half. Just 29% in that first half.
So it's getting progressively worse.
If you can go worse, you know.
Spalding looking low. Brokoff got away, finds the open Brunson. Nice. Jalen Brunson, a 40% three-point shooter last year at Villanova, shot 52% overall from the floor.
Takes a lot of quality shots.
The game is never too fast for him either.
Crazy is it that they had 3 first-round picks out of Villanova and he wasn't one of them.
I know.
You know, it's unfortunate for him, but where you go is important when you get drafted. And I think Dallas is a perfect fit for Mr. Brunson.
The Mavericks said on draft night they had him in their top 25, and they feel like they got a steal. Here's Jalen Jones knocking it down. And the Mavericks' three-point barrage continues. They're 12th of the night. They're 12 of 22, and actually 12 for their last 18 since the first quarter.
Or if I remember you and Followell talking about this after the New Orleans trip last year, how Jalen Jones believed that like he belonged.
Yeah. I like him a lot.
Tough-minded kid.
Can't do that, bud. I'm going to call it on the floor. Brunson. He was in a pretty good position. He had to do something earlier to get this call on him. As you see him pull up from that corner, knocking down the three.
Pretty nice no-look there from Brokoff. And here is the Mavericks' other two-way contract player, Kostas Antetokounmpo. You kind of know who his brother is.
Not a whole lot of Antetokounmpos in the NBA.
No. But actually, there were... he is the third to be drafted.
That's right.
Because brother Thanasis was drafted by the Knicks. And a nice play by Prokop to knock it away.
It's a good play.
Too strong from Spalding. Thanasis drafted by the Knicks. He's back in Greece now playing for Panathinaikos. And Kostas, after 1 year at Dayton, coming to the NBA. And playing some pretty good post defense there. And Rick Carlisle now take a timeout. With the Mavericks firmly in control in their preseason opener by 33 on Fox Sports Southwest.
It takes a lot of bowls to serve teriyaki.
See that right there? You can't say that.
I can't tell people to try my bowls?
No.
Check out my bowls?
Nope.
What about my billboard? What? Try my teriyaki bowls.
It's Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month. The best time to take home big savings on our tech-filled family of trucks and SUVs, including Titan, Frontier, and Armada. Get to Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month and take home big savings. Save up to $13,691 on the 2018 Texas Titan, or get a low $399 per month lease on Armada. Hurry, Truck Month ends soon.
Come try my teriyaki bowls. Now available with steak or chicken. Covered in our teriyaki sauce, plus steamed veggies, and your choice of white or brown rice. I've got the bowls to serve something different. What? Try my teriyaki bowls.
364 days a year, nature knows better. Placing a massive free-flowing divide between two rivals older than the states they represent. But once a year, the divide closes. The red-tinted water becomes green Bermuda grass. And the two sides remind us why that river's there in the first place.
Here we go.
We're brothers.
We're brothers?
Do you like to see your brother suffer?
Brothers argue.
You want the ball. I want the ball, too.
Time out.
I feel I'm the best. I want to cover the best.
Are you sure you're still in the Hall of Fame?
Stop playing, Skip.
I said it.
We have something that no other team has.
Hop on the bandwagon. It could be a fun ride for you.
Choose a side.
Boom.
America's fastest growing sports show.
This is undisputed.
Mavericks in control here in the opener of the preseason against the Beijing Ducks. You know, no other player in NBA history has spent 21 seasons with the same team. Come witness history unfold as Dirk returns this season. Mavs full season, half season, and 10-game plans are on sale now. Visit Mavs.com/season tickets for more information. Dirk, of course, trying to chase down Wilt. 149 points behind Wilt Chamberlain, who is trying to hold off LeBron James. See if he can get there first. We'll see if Dirk can get back. Of course, still recovering from the ankle surgery of last April. And there's a nice no-look by Jalen Brunson. Beautiful.
And I like, yeah, quick off the ground there.
He was on a diving board or something.
I think it might be in the jeans.
Maybe. That's why you draft those guys, right?
Just on the first one. You better go for it the second time.
Man, if this one ends up being like the other one, Lord have mercy.
Look out.
Oh, it took him a year to figure it out.
Is he a superstar?
Yes.
He is a superstar. He's got some good players around him. That team should be better than they've been. And we'll see. Mike Budenholzer now there in Milwaukee.
I think Milwaukee would be the surprise team in the Western, in the Eastern Conference.
I'm with you, Harp. I'm not so sure they don't have one of the 5 best coaches in basketball. I think he's amazing.
Especially on the offense team.
Schwo trying to finish, can't do that. Brunson in full flight, finds the open Prokop, and he hits it.
Brunson is a pure point guard. You get the ball to guys that can make shots, you know what you're doing.
Brunson, some post defense. And got overrun that time. LUKA able to finish that one for Beijing. The rare basket for them here in the second half. As they have scored just 16 points here in the second half.
I think they ran out of gas, but you got to credit the Mavericks defense as well, staying aggressive.
I can't.
Able to turn, I'm sorry, Skip.
No, you're fine.
Able to turn a lot of steals into easy baskets in the second half.
I'm excited to see how Feng's son play because he looks like he's 14 years old again. Number 2, just checked in. He's covering Jalen Brunson. That is a young-looking dude.
There you go.
So I want to see what I'm about to see here. I'm excited about this.
Daryl Macon has checked in for the Mavericks. The other two-way player out of Arkansas. And he'll immediately tee it up and immediately knock it down. He can really shoot the ball now. He was a 43% three-point shooter at Arkansas last year, second team All-SEC.
Well, it tells me he's sitting over on the bench ready to check into the game.
I might go watch him play with the Legends, one of our two-way guys. That's awesome.
Mavericks having upped that lead now to 39. Macon gets called for that foul, but let's go back to the three-pointer.
Yeah, and Brokoff got in the lane. He was just spotted up, locked and loaded, able to knock it in.
14 threes by the Mavericks tonight in 24 attempts.
Here we go.
And there's a travel underneath. As Kostas did a good job staying on the ground.
Well, they don't go for that fake in this league. It's just a little different league here.
That three-pointer by Daryl Macon, the 9th different Maverick to make a three-pointer tonight. Mavericks led by 16 from Luka Doncic in his Mavericks debut with 6 rebounds and 2 assists on 5 of 7 shooting. And an offensive foul against the Mavericks. Beijing gets it back. Mavericks up by 39 on Fox Sports Southwest.
I love greeting customers. Hello, number 2. Let me show you my hometown Whataburger. Come on.
I'll take all 6 of those spicy quesadillas.
All right, all 6. This is where the magic happens. We're bringing the food, but we're also bringing people together.
It's easy, it's convenient. We come and they treat us like family when we're here.
There is always something for everyone at Whataburger. I just can't help but leave every day with a smile and a story. Welcome to your hometown Whataburger.
Want more SUV for your money? Check out Hyundai. A family of distinct SUVs from the brand named lowest 5-year cost to own. And with 7 2018 IIHS top safety picks, all thanks to an assortment of advanced safety features. And all of them are backed by America's best warranty. Hyundai SUVs, a great deal more than just a great deal. Get up to $5,000 in total savings or 0.9% APR on a 2018 Santa Fe. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
1 foot in the door, 1 foot in the grave. 1 steps back at 2, 2 is unafraid. Bury the door, rap, single double, step. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Say there was a new kind of place, the perfect place for the everyday things you need to take care of around the house. The squeaky hinges and burned out bulbs. The toilets that run and faucets that don't. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It'd be just the right size. It would be an Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their stuff. Welcome to the home convenience store.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Now at Arby's, you can get 30 euros for $90. Or for those who aren't trying to cater a Greek family reunion, they're 2 for $6.
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
I think it's great. I think we have a good balance between, vets, super vets, as I like to say, vets and young guys. And I think that creates a great dynamic between, for me, it gives me a chance to talk to the young guys, but I can also still be a student as well and be able to be mentored and learn from all the guys who are older than me. So we think we have a great balance.
Well, Harrison Barnes talking about one of those young guys, Dennis Smith. Terrific game for him, especially late in the second and early in the third when this game busted open. 16 points and 6 assists. And there's the balance of scoring in 2017, 2018. Skin, you made the point that it may very well be that that role is changed this year, where Dennis maybe takes on a little more of that role.
He's just going to have the ball so much in scoring opportunities. Obviously, Harrison's going to score a bunch of points. LUKA will score some points. I think, Wes will be in opportunities. And Brea's coming off his best statistical year, and there's no bigger Brea fan than the man sitting between me and you, Coop. #1 president of the J.J. Brea fan club is one Derek Harper.
I am. Because he was undrafted, and he worked his way up, won a championship, and is still getting it done.
He good.
It was a nice catch, and then a better finish by Ray Spalding at the front of the rim.
Some guys have a knack to follow those missed shots and finish them up like Spalding was able to do.
Ray Spalding is a really raw prospect. The word on him when he played at Louisville was he always left you wanting more because of that athletic ability. But he came on in his junior season. That was a big finish there, and the Mavericks are really high on him after a very good summer league season.
Not a big guy, but plays with an edge. He plays really hard and plays bigger than his size.
There's some length.
There's some length. There's some length. These guys are pitching it around a little bit. Brunson.
Nice.
Oh, how about that?
Nice.
Brunson can't quite get it down.
That rebound and bounce pass there, Harp. That was sweet.
Japing can't get that one to go.
Nice find.
Nice find. And a nice finish.
How's that not and one?
And it almost Vince Carter, Frederick Weiss. I mean, just from the standpoint of with the legs being out and going over his shoulder. I'm not going to, because listen, that's still the greatest dunk in the history of basketball.
I'm with you.
Vince Carter has a lot of highlight reels, though.
3-on-1 here. Spalding hit the rim with that dunk attempt.
Trying to dunk everything now.
And Rick Carlisle's going to take a timeout. With the Mavericks having blown it totally open, having held Beijing to just 16 second-half points, holding Beijing to 24% on the floor. Let's get a look at Kostas Antetokounmpo.
It's pretty good defense. Backed off, challenged the shot, and then showing off the hops. Kaboom on the jam in the open court.
And then the block at the other end. How about that? I mean, he's up in the air forever.
Yeah, that's a lot of length to Skin's point. Man,
arms just kept getting longer on that play. Stretch on Antetokounmpo style.
He didn't play much at Dayton last year. He played only about 15 minutes a game. Averaged a little over 5 points a game. Well, this is obviously the first preseason game. There'll be one more preseason game here on October the 12th against the Charlotte Hornets, and then we start playing for keeps on October 17th. Mavericks will be in Phoenix to take on the Suns. Of course, the home opener back here at the American Airlines Center on October the 20th against the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's an interesting November. There are some really good games on Saturdays in November. Golden State comes in here. Boston comes in here on back-to-back Saturdays, the 17th and 24th.
A lot of good teams as well on Saturday nights.
We're going to be rolling out some magical Saturdays this year, fellas.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to be seeing some pretty good stuff. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Underneath a foul against Beijing, and free throws will be coming for Ray Spalding. As we are just under now 4 minutes remaining in the game. Ray Spalding grew up in Louisville, played at Louisville, just finding out about life outside of Louisville as he misses the first one. There are some of the other notable dates. Rockets in on a Saturday late afternoon game on December the 8th. LeBron's only appearance at the American Airlines Center January 7th. And that April 9th game here against the Phoenix Suns, that could be quite a night for a lot of reasons.
Absolutely. I like that we're starting off the year with the two likely Rookie of the Year candidates in LUKA and DeAndre Ayton on a Wednesday night. Should be a lot of fun.
Here comes Macon again, and the foul taken to prevent the fast break. And then that following Wednesday night in Atlanta, playing against Trae Young.
Absolutely. Boy, Trae Young and Luke are going to be linked at the hip for so long. These people talking about that sort of stuff.
The Mavericks trading up to get him opposed to Trae Young, who I think will eventually be a decent player in this league. But I think when people start comparing you to a guy like Steph Curry,
that's tough.
It almost hinders you in a way.
Right. You know, it was interesting to watch him in the last year just burst on the scene. And then when he got into Big 12 play, it's almost as if everybody was getting out of the way and not. It was Trae Young pretty much playing 1-on-5, and it's I don't care what level of basketball you're playing at. So.
But the other thing, Coop, is that he's going to be on a young team. Yeah. It's hard to learn. You know, if you don't have that veteran guy, like Harrison Barnes just spoke about, there are a lot of guys that he can still learn from. And I don't think Young will have that.
There's your guy, Skin, right there on the run.
Man, I've been waiting for him, son, to break out, and he's showing us.
Brunson on the blow-by and the layoff.
Really nice.
And again, absolutely under control.
Yes.
27 assists for the Mavericks tonight on 34 made baskets.
That's as efficient as you're going to get it.
Well, again, it speaks to Rick Carlisle's desire to have baskets come as a result of passes.
Well, opposed to banging it.
You know, the biggest shift was the year Steve Kerr got to Golden State. They went from the least amount of passes in the league to the most amount of passes in the league in one off season. And you just see how it opens up an offense.
Well, okay. And that rim is still standing. 107-60. Now, the Mavericks, as far as by NBA.com statistics, has the steal by Macon on the run, and he's got the layup. The Mavericks were in the middle of the pack. You know, it's not like they were, because, you know, the coach is upset about it because he wants to see more passing, but they were middle of the pack as far as total passes and assists as it relates to ultimate baskets scored. But, you know, you want to be in the top 10. You want to be higher than that.
And we anticipate that going up this year.
I think if you're winning, you are better as you take a look at the dribble penetration and then the finish. That's a two-ball. Another look at it.
I like that.
It's a nice after seeing it twice.
Just think, you know, gets into a pro weight program.
Just gets stronger.
He's so spidery right now. Just think when he fills out a little bit. Here's a deep three that misses.
Late block.
As this one winds down. Nice find by Macon, and Brunson with another corner three.
He looks good.
Well, he's going to be a really important player this year because Rick Carlisle's made it clear he's really going to be careful with the minutes of both J.J. Barea and Devin Harris.
Yeah. Both guys missed a pretty big chunk of the season last year with injuries.
Down to 3 on the clock, and it's been a lot of the story in the second half, and that's a 24-second shot clock violation.
There you go, Skin.
My guy's son, he found himself in a bad situation, guys. Did we just get a technical foul?
I think
it's a tech.
Ray Spalding. Gets called for the foul. It's the 15th foul. So no technical, but
is that just a crazy late whistle?
Yes, a crazy late whistle with 66 seconds to go.
Well, they have to get one more foul in.
Foul quota.
That was the 60th foul of the night, by the way.
Yes.
If you had the over and under,
I don't think anybody had to go home. Are you kidding? Jesus Christ.
Well, you never know what you're going to get from the Beijing Ducks.
Well, if you took the under at 60, you lost. Runs and there's the lob, and there it is Antetokounmpo again.
He's got 4 dunks, doesn't he?
He does. 4 out of 5 for Kostas Antetokounmpo in his professional debut. And there's a Macon steal. Cody Miller-McIntyre out of Wake Forest. Turnaround by Spalding.
He looks comfortable on that block. Got a chance to field the defender a little bit, and excellent little spin to the baseline. Time on, huh?
Teaching moment.
For who?
Teaching moment, huh?
Well, I believe in this case it's for the head coach of the Ducks, Giannis Christopoulos, with 24 seconds to go. And the Mavericks in the ultimate of blowouts on Fox Sports Southwest.
Here we go.
We're brothers.
We're brothers?
Do you like to see your brother suffer?
Brothers argue.
You want the ball. I want the ball, too.
Time out.
I feel I'm the best. I want to cover the best.
Are you sure you're still in the Hall of Fame?
Stop playing, Skip.
I said it.
We have something that no other team has.
Hop on the bandwagon. It could be a fun ride for you.
Choose a side.